Yemo bibi ajo emo bibi akwaba enenwumre ediba TVS wazed gumbe show enwumre ya hyehye ne fefefe ya de to abobo anu bibi awo ewo mantama hodo edunsia nyina mo ewo Ghana ha se wo Germany wo France wo Belgium wo Italy wo United Kingdom United States of America na wo so obehwe live wa on Facebook live no TVS wazed Ghana so on YouTube TVS wazed Ghana medin Edemogabi Masi ubetimi afremi atankolega bi Ghana ene enwumre yi ensem bebre na ne yeba bedi ho enkomo ne ebiebiem amatemamofo wo memo so wo mo ate ase ne ne panifo so asinkonya ne edi ho enkomo ene me guest ayi onumunyamfo Samuel Okujoto Ablakwa we yemrahye bedwani di matemamofo a wo mo Northton abeton peso aso ewo Framantamu eye voter region wono enemy guest for tonight on the Gumbe show na ene eye NDC ye national chairman of Usampofo ene eye na woda tebi a chairman wo bia no ye ma happy eye birthday chairman Samuel Ofosu Ampofo elder one ye ma happy birthday ensembi esi ewo sunwane ya yedi ani ebekire sunwan ni akwahwede esi ewo eye sunwan saa so ena ensem bebre na ena aba na ado akasa after the Supreme Court ruling say eye first deputy speaker of parliament and the second deputy speaker omo nyina betumi ato aba abra omo preside eno eye ensem a enanwumre ensem na ado ede atodwa ewo eye UAE Dubai no ye be matemamofo so aso ate saa so na minority leader on munyamfo Haruna Idrisu ono so akasa ena eye Dr. Obed Asamoah ekane no ya Attorney General ono so akasa nsambay ena ono so ede atu edwa we nyina ye nsama wodo a ena anwumre yesinkunya ne aka ho ensem ye dan ho semati wa mo ne afọ aboafo nkrato ena eye 10th March 2022 ye fa aboafo nkrato ne ye babi ma afei ena Gumbe no eba abiso ye basisia
Moga ya pe Gumbio ya ojo wo.
Hey, eja baby there. So now you let me go. Ayibia. We are watch Jerusalem. Wow. Blana me more why? Eja baby there. Edro ne eni. We Spanish garlic mixture. Ebuama moje diefu sane ewo ni pedie ni mu yi. Collect. Afi so esa so boa em obi okasa pampan ewo ni trim. Obi adakoma bo ni peli. Obi awo Johnson tentem. Obi ade na ase atatai. Afi so obi asrade adoko no ni pedie enane ni nyina.
Collect.
Eja, we also ye Spanish garlic capsules. A supporting immune system.
That's all.
Shenenso, Edroi, Enyama Oba wa fru. Dioma Accra no for. Accra onya infie dumienu. Entimin fe Edroi. Fre 0266 114111.
FDA ahwehwe saa igwadi nkratoɔ yi mu agye atomu sɛ
we are one man short. Should we invite him?
Yeah.
It be old cargo.
Can I join you guys?
Yeah. Always brave, fresh, natural, mix, mineral, water.
Still got it. Always keep hydrated naturally. That's my secret.
Manufactured with the primary aim of preserving nature's finest minerals necessary for a healthy mind and body. X Natural Mineral Water. Simply natural.
If I cry na menyisika, edia ye mefui.
Ehinfa pa na menya bosia, edia tre medwuma yimu.
Kai cry mabre, me busia ato taxi fufu. Suhum Rural Bank.
Suhum Rural Bank.
Yemamwa baba Suhum Rural Bank. Ye won hye ahodo bi te se dwadifo abosia, ekokro bosia, susu account. And it does all savings account. Me bada chain savings account. And then the keka ho. Suhum Rural Bank was 03422919896. Now one so what to me aka say.
Suhum Rural Bank. Ama ene mayeka una.
Suhum Rural Bank. Enti me pa minie.
Suhum Rural Bank. Growing our heritage.
More fire. General Manager Abuaje TV SYZ Nyamisha Enkan when you team Nina and Enumri. Now, yeshase Eddie Free and Yafi, and a national chairman, a chairman of Fusu Ampofu, and a birthday and Yasam Ketua, Yakopon de Afrebacon, Akanifi, and a chase only General one, and Yasam Ketua, and Nijankoa. Now the can say, Yankopon and my chairman, a year one day and then quatenting, and what dear a year Yansa any shida a womb. One man no a yen Yansa no Yankopon manish and Yansa ni baby and can said the bear and this Amonyoku on the 7th of December 2024. You bet me Aje Amemono. Afri ayena na kufuado amamwo fo tantan a yehu Ghana ha no ye betimi agye na ye amamwo papa e de abre eye Ghana fo nti chairman ba bia na anwumre wo bia no ye beka se ene show ni de ye ne wa na ye de abom ye ma happy birthday chairman ye da se ene anwumre woni abusua ni nyina ene NDC ma nyina ba bia mo ya agya ni je ne ekoso no me de me se mi wi a mo de no media mo ba chekere e de aba nti mo de mo amanya opportunity am wo ho anwumre ya mo de birthday no mo de mo ni eye chama birthday no na eye den a mo amogina chiri wo no eye den a chama de nya de a wodidi a ne wire be femi nti ene de mo nyaaye ne ye de beba thank you angels ne de beba to be aka na koma entuni yem wa ye bawura eye sunwane ewo eye bono eye regional capital na school bi a ewo sunwane a chese school no we school no si ye be mfie be aduanan ene akire enie se de bia maka cho se aban we eye aban a wonye na adwene se obaba be si school aban we eye aban a wote wa ye si school si woni ebubu atoabu aban we eye aban a wono onsi hospital na so wo ha ye se la general hospital ye ebubu agu ya ba be si fofo ene awo for a woman was sunyan eda esore ya school eja ebima ko be ya wie be 30 years 40 years 50 years ya just a regional minister ko se say no satan no ya kwada kete ene mu da sore ya say ya ton asase no ede ya ma obi a ya ba be bubu school ni nyina ya den aguo na awofo no say eh na obi sore am say school a ye nyina ha na ya wie ya bata ba akoka so ase mi wie ya 30 years 1990 ena mi wie school e wa ha ene musimo ba ba ya den mo ba be bu school na gu na ma ya den ene ya chese sunyafo nyina wofo yi abatan asore wo mo som ho na original coordinating council say santan ena no pay say regional minister bra montene na be ka bibi e kire na ye yam ye sunumu ye man hinu mo be ko school ba bia na ado aban no wo de ye duro eno no enti nei angels ni de ye kodu sunyan regional capital ye bono regional capital sunyan ye ko hwede ko so ho eneden
emu ayinfo emu government appointees anyone even polytechnic ye kasa sisian there's issue at polytechnic I want to cancel say what poly no nyina ye de be atomadi mama ye ri abedi now me kasa asa issue we won sisia
good morning.
Morning. What you say? What you frozen? Who you school?
Wait, we school 30 years in 1990. Na me maso nyina na obu wiye. Amadu kura ko secondary school awie. Ene anya abre ye frɛ meeting a omo se ye betu ye mana mama to asase no. Nti ne de ye nia abre pa ye nti ase. Ye beti ase akura na ye beti 10 years allowance. Yes, akura bia 10 years allowance for secondary school. Yes, I am here.
Ento on be bubu school no. One yes I dey no. And it's the same about regional coordinating council. Mu be den, mu dey assembly be.
Regional minister, you miss a woman now or a buy. Never say, Sunya, when I am president, and I'm when I am president. That's a BBS. I will president, I will over 1,000 for years. Who will work with energy? If I don't know how land energy, I must start a foundation. I'll mother, Fence wall. Minister, I got some money about it. After a chair, some by yourself, school no matter opportunity. Then there's a timbasa. I blame my defense will fee. That's a work for school. Who go school at the wagon? Who are not go school at a mayor from 4 years and the dragon. Then there's a timbasa.
This is about 10 years allowance.
I'm not going if I run out of assassin, I'm before motor as you are 40 years, who toilet, or 40 years. That's another minister, regional minister, now wife, and now women 24, I think I'm not free, 2 more.
Etene ukopiem ewo sunyane ane yapinio nanado yapinio kwa ene abatan hwewo nanado sese de Ghana hey ensasi ma pra Africa ha mu de kodu sunyane ya babia mmofra emabunu esuade no makoton asase no e de ama wobi a ye betu eye nkwada no afiri ho sase aban wei eye aban a enam se o ma bon enti no o ma emfa education enya hwe wo ba school ba kokura wonsi bi sa da bia ka kira se adwene bone ene o mudi bu man a dodo na be ka se Mugabe kasa na no ehye na school ba kokura wonsi bi na so mu kobubu school a ebi mo wie school be 40 years ago ukobubu sa school no agu sa de mo ye regefo la general hospital ya hospital sini baabi ya adwuma mokobubu agu a timamofo no entimi enya baabi enko school no ene masa ye sade ne biem aduru sunwan a school a esi ho ya chese nipa ekomu school wasori one day akofa eye excavator ne hwa bulldozers mukwa akodwi school na gu na kwada na akọ school ewo hin sabe se wei ukaso o ma jimi a ya beka so o ma di watem na mom no nyansa no ewo fom enkwada ekọ school wo school ma ye kodwi school no hu ton sase no wei aye common sense education ya de hu hia ye papa education no ya de hu hia ye papa anda John Mahama abrani ya mama Professor Jena na opoku agyeman aya education minister now what 2 deputies number kuye in charge of tertiary ya ye fan so no Samuel Kujo to Ablakwa number kuye in charge of non tertiary ya onimonya for anacheme sabi na omunim nyansa ntino o ma kobubu school da bi emu tie niye wo munim nyansa wo fie nyansa no mo leader wo di wo manim onim nyansa no o ma kobubu school bi emu sunya for mamon pene na mpene kina mamon pene mo teta so kokko kira bai wei mamon pene mo bubu school no na wo mo bugu pa eno ano no mo ma ne betre fie mo nya school nko abai wei wo betre fie 3 months 4 months so ko school en for ne ho na wadi mamon pene mo teta so kokko eye mo constitutional right mo teta so kokko kira bai wei say if it must be done well afei move on yenko yenim enani ya da sorry and ye say eja Jowusu wɔyɛ n'adwene so wɔkɔ akɔto aba agya yi levy a ho nsɛm yi na sɛdeɛ parliament wɔn standing orders ne sitie no yɛsɛ obi a wɔ preside sɛ wɔyɛ first deputy speaker so wɔyɛ second deputy speaker anaa even so wɔyɛ member na waba abɛtena mu sɛ wɔ preside ne deɛ ordinary member no wabɛtena mu sɛ wɔnyɛ first deputy speaker wɔnyɛ speaker no wɔnyɛ second deputy speaker no ɔ preside a wɔnto aba sɛdeɛ yɛn amra no ɛkyerɛ yɛn no na jo ɛyɛ waisi a wɔkɔyɛ saa deɛ nyinaa no ɛnɛ mu bɛhu mesɛ sɛ kɛkyerɛma ɛmpro ɛnɛ yi mesi mu bɛhu ɛnɛ videos no mesi nneɛma a moyɛ no nyinaa ɛngye saa atwe no nyinaa ba yɛbɛbɔ amoma tema so mu GUMBE na anwummere ɛne ɔmode kɔdan Supreme Court ɛne ɔmo tena so a pa Justice Docheni ne mpanimfoɔ well mede sɛ Supreme Court ruling kɔrɛba me nti yɛwu because saa da ne mu wɔhye rough obi a wɔntena kantaba akora da wumra police station da ne afrɛ wo sɛ begyina saa da no wowura ma ayɛ te sɛ mɛka ne sɛ condemn ɛwɔ nsɛmwam wohu sɛ nneɛma bi wo so wɔ dan no mu oga bi didi wo sɛ biegya mɛsɛ yes ɔsɛ kan ka sɛ biegya deɛ ne wobɛkɔ nsɛmwam ɛno ano no you spare them on into wobɛkɔ nsɛmwam mafa ya kagya gum mebɔne ama yɛ no nti ɔmode yɛ ɔmo yɛ masters yɛfrɛ ɔmo my lord nti ɔmo asɛm deɛ ɛyɛ na me head and co details na ruling ni ba yɛ no obi anim asɛm a yɛkan ɛna agya dɔm kuma yɛ wɔ mmarahyɛ bedwafie de ɔda wo ma no ne din ɛde onimonyafo Haruna ɛyɛ Idusu Tamale South ɛyɛ MP ɔno nso pii ɛna wɔsɛ daabi maka biribi afa Supreme Court ruling ho a na kyerɛ sɛ menyɛ minority leader Honorable Haruna Idusu ɛkasa ɛnora after the ruling yɛkɔtie nsɛm a wɔde ɛto dwa
of quorum for parliament for purpose of conducting business. We cannot see any material difference in the provisions of Article 104. But for their purposes, they have said that interpret 102 differently and separately from Article 104. They ought to know that Article 102, even the side notes, marginal note, says quorum of parliament. The judiciary of Ghana is also failing Ghana's parliamentary democracy in their inability to appreciate the true meaning of Article 110 of the Constitution, that Parliament shall by standing orders regulate its own proceedings. When we regulate our own proceedings, and today reference is only made to the 1992 Constitution and not to the standing orders of the Parliament of Ghana, and in particular, Standing Order 13. Today, as we speak, the Speaker is indisposed. There is a presiding person in the first Deputy Speaker. So, for your purposes, can you imagine what will happen in Parliament? While the first deputy is presiding, there is no second deputy speaker available who will preside to supervise him voting for our purposes. It's repugnant and unreasonable decision. He is presiding, so where he is presiding and the second deputy speaker for some purposes is not immediately available in the chamber, he will walk down, vote. At that time, there will be no person presiding over the Parliament of Ghana. This is a judicial support for President Nana Addo Dankwa's e-levy that he is laboring to pass. We remain opposed to it, stitch by stitch, clause by clause, article by article. When it is presented, we will fight back strongly with our 127 vote. From today, maybe there will be a new definition of who a first or a second deputy speaker is. Maybe they don't deserve us according them the offices they occupy. Maybe that is what the Supreme Court is ruling. We will just recognize them as MP for Fomina and MP for Bekwai. Nothing more. I thank you.
Yeah. Da GUMBE ne de hye wakasa akasa memem enu anu no wawie okasa wie ya nanado bamba state of the nation address se da bi Sansa World Bank aye country director at Semoto says Sikaya Diamamo aye over $600 million COVID ba ye na mabeka Ghana for say $100 million e de mamo and what Semoto enti picture bia ni wa mo be penti e de a Ghana for aye papa economy no ho asema na wabeka enye papa ene dollar no eduru 7.8 pound no enam ekotan efra na efro ene petrol untime to comforty cedi per gallon tinana do we said no wabeka a Ghana for woni hwe State of the Nation aye address no so na no aye constitutional obligation said the constitution asiye no e wose wabeka a Ghana for national nado is nowhere to be found. Dear Kenya no wo chile ewo aye Dubai say no wo chai Arabian king na Kufuado chai Arabian king ena oh ye ana che say wo mo etufa kodu aye Dubai na wadi okoi sa wabro ni jet no ma fa anko sa say jet no ho sam ho na nei master of that jet no do my revelation be bia about that jet no ene ofia onabo Samuel Okujo to abla kwa ofia na nei ye behwa ho nsem aka ti sa wabro ni jet ni de omugya no nmo kofa Emirate na no make us Emirate de na no business class no ye dware wo ho ye da ho ye bibia ho ta no de obafa na so otukwa biem na ye other airlines which I don't want to mention their names na I want ye nware wo mu na what you say no so ba den eno say honorable Samuel Okujo to black atnasia wo be cheche mu na do say Supreme Court at the ruling aba no se kajamakala kai ato afa me constitutional obligations on me this State of the Nation address every Ghana for ne de eno de ever tonchen na ka we the constitution was some crowd here e kame kabi na for the first time there really we ne super na do say we no emu ade sanse we ni betimi aboa ma yi levy pass na Kufuado ewu Dubai ena santwefo bopini no ene na nei we no hu ne fan na do nyi mu are a de ma Ghana for ni.
Mr. President, I'm sure you've heard about this Supreme Court ruling concerning the controversy over whether or not the deputy speakers can vote. What do you make of the decision so far?
Let me begin, first of all, by saying that as a rule, I've made it a point since I became president, as much as possible, not to comment on constitutional issues in the country. People who are students of our constitutional law, our constitutional jurisprudence, are very much aware of the role that I played when I was a barrister in helping define some of its basic principles of interpretation. And I think that now I've become president, if every time there's a constitutional matter I'm heard to pronounce on it, it will give the impression that I'm setting myself up as what, some sort of rival Supreme Court. And I've been very reluctant to do that for that reason. I think the body that the Constitution has set up to be responsible for declaring the meaning of the Constitution, interpreting and enforcing it, is the Supreme Court, is the judiciary, with the Supreme Court at its apex. And as a matter of good governance, it's better that that body, which has been given this exclusive power, is the one that is heard on constitutional issues. And that's the reason why I've not been open or vocal on constitution. But I think this one, I feel strongly that I should make some comment. Firstly, the noise that was generated on this, at the time I was extremely surprised, because as far as I can see it, and I think the Supreme Court has confirmed it, the matters involved in this thing are open and shut. They're black and white. There can be no dispute about the issues that the gentleman took to the Supreme Court. It is there for anybody who wants to see. In Articles 102, Articles 104 of the Constitution makes it absolutely clear in black and white that the deputy speakers, I'm not speaking of the speaker, I mean the deputy speakers, when they're presiding, have the right to participate in the vote of the Parliament. The whole structure of the Constitution, and indeed, and I believe that was being part of the reasoning of the court, all the legislatures of the world, where the presiding person is a member of the legislature, like our deputy speakers are, like the Speaker of the House of Representatives in the United States, or the President pro tem of the Senate in the United States, or the Speaker of the British Parliament. All of those have the right to speak because they are members of the Assembly. Our Speaker is expressly not a member of the Assembly. That's why he doesn't have the right to vote. In fact, he really ought not even to participate in the deliberations of the House. He's a referee, making sure that the debate is conducted properly and that the rules of procedure, the orders of the House are complied with. That's his role. But he ought, strictly speaking, not to be part of the proceedings of the House. That is not the case with the deputy speakers. And that matter is transparent on the face of our Constitution. Indeed.
Well. And some of my penny edited that a year Dubai and no, not just say the Okan say a court ruling na abano a muda ho a kama papa asimbia in yachi. Now my penny eka wenino, and I say don't get ya se montrain. Johnson I say don't get ya. Many need some in uncle, one also need ya on so waka a far a yes and some who in here.
Long as say impunity in Yaino, resistance has been imposed on us as a duty. I don't know. Say speaker can say, another deputy speaker because obey referee. No assign ako 2 penalty. Esha wasan ba wesre say yasha. Say asumbo na be manager ya. Mumo na asum na nadwere emesi ni kwam. Enti Senana Kufuado or per se Parliamentary Hojua a Hobejo. Because says here almost any constitution be our my move, your constitution organ says here Kufuado. Okase Hana Kwanda, SSO be a dear. Okase Hana Kwanda, SSO be a dear. Yam Pereso and Masadi and continue. If we say Mra, any democratic institutions, no. Yes, she said, ye to me, I had the amount by no. Abano Nanajata, emphasize to me, no, emetete, emechi.
What's happening? Johnson, I see Dunketia, on also Nesema, what they atuga and no. Now, in some way, what the two daba now chemi esa echemu abanu did medibi ewo asante matemu and what this asemono etu eja. Na yaka we nyina no. Na angels ne say na mugabe wonu say first deputy speaker and friend say Joe say wusu. Waka ensem bi say wo preside a wontumi envotu. Ana mugabe wunya nya sa video ni bi ehwei. Se wonya bi ehwede a na de Dubai ne ohwe show yi na jo osewu so no wate won ohwe show yi na Ghana fo nyina hwe sa show yi dia na ose ye tachema empro ensem bi a jo osewu so eka emira bi a etwam no kwasi bro ne beka se be reflective ye reflect ye koyachi ye mo nkombo kakra ne ye koyi sa video no emra ne ye mama Ghana fo enya den entie ene anwumiri ye entie emira bi a etwam ensem a jo usu eka ye ewo mra se bedwafi abra no wate akwanyama or presiding.
Honourable members, when it comes to the question of voting, it is very clear. Any time any of the deputy speakers or any other member elected to preside is in the chair, that member does not vote. That has never been in dispute. Anytime a member is presiding, either a deputy speaker or a member who by necessity is elected from among members to preside, that person does not vote.
Another one, no. So what has changed? Dear Nasa, and nay, ye levity, and then you mutimi vote. Eneyo, ye levy tea, and not ye assessor, language and assessor, cast and assessor, because ye pay ye levy. Atutubotum, levy. Akohifo levy. Akoronfo arm robbers, levy. Sayi levy, a arm robbery, just a chrono bo, see about 2 bottom near you, Sika. Yet again, yet that one day, sorry. Now ye sika a 52 billion cedis. A transfer sikano afri a Ghana commercial bank to unknown account. Ghana. No one is talking about it. Ye levy, no. Ya omo atlas say omo say nyina say. Afibia na bema omo 6.9 billion cedis no. Check 6.9 billion no. Do say na the multiply wo benya a 52 billion. And yet ho. Sansi slow mo. Nipo na oka sa asem no wo mu yo jo se wusu na oka sa asem no sa wote sa akwanya no ma me pese mu se me repeat mu sisu biem na ato Ghana fo asum se esem na oka ne nra no enne no die na asesa die what has changed die na asesa yes I said the language na be foforo se otumi vote ama president so te se ruling aba no na ni age ya ono so jubility Sasi subiem, was subium Jose Osudian. Sa was subium mame.
Honourable members, when it comes to the question of voting, it is very clear. Any time any of the deputy speakers or any other member elected to preside is in the chair, that member does not vote. That has never been in dispute. Anytime a member is presiding, either a deputy speaker or a member who by necessity is elected from among members to preside, that person does not vote.
Fantastically. Eti adama se. Na eno ena enei. Epanifo bebre ana ekasa. Ama Honorable Clement Apakwa Yemna se bidwa ni dimatima for wo busa safa beto beso in the Upper East region. Wano so that apoya no say de obeso aya brama. Obeba be preside owia no asako vote amiahwe. Siremo esremfo mo Parliamentary mo doso. Muntaka say ono say wo bo adwuma. And is it Teddy? Ono so bo adwuma. Iti Teddy boy adwuma Teresa woni say ono mo hunsa bolga for no mo fa ni agro. Ono say we gina so fine. Na wo he Alasan Suhini we gina so fine. Ono mo ya for kujo to black ono ebi obegina Teresa we say we pia emrate no ne we gina chire kakra. Na Honorable Collins that the same say jata ono so obeye say no hwe omo no ahye ni fugu no hwe omo na baby amadre mo abrante akura wo mo kwa no sports minister mu hu de siye sremni babuna wo mo ba akopɛ wo mu hu de siye Carlos Ayenkura sela na funu no nyeye Carlos Ayenkura sela na funu no enye na Clement Apakwa be ma 10 gram wi o ka se wo beto am ya ha wo ba preside akoto jo se wo be ko wa na o kan wo be ko ene e ujagirege wo na we nyina mo no na the champion lawyer Chachuchi Kata wo so no de o kan na no an o kan abra Supreme Court ruling ne ba ye fa election petition and some o kan no eno an o da so ejina so o ma ye quotation a kai semfri a Bible num said the atwakonkoro no etie no sa pepepe en woko no lawyer Chachuchi Kata.
Your time is up. May I just finish in a minute because I'm in the middle of a sentence. Is that allowed? Okay. As you may finish. As Aqua indicated in the Kuglex case, heeding the promptings of conscience, as he put it, heeding fidelity to the judicial oath, he found it appropriate to reverse a decision of the ordinary bench. May each of your lordships decide in accordance with your conscience and your judicial oath. Ultimately, and even more profoundly, it is for the chairperson of the first respondent to come forward to testify, as she indicated on oath she would do. I conclude with prophetic words that were spoken centuries ago. For they sow the wind, and they shall reap the whirlwind. These are the words of the prophet Hosea, to be found in Hosea chapter 8, verse 7. He that has an ear, let him hear.
I said, you are soon what here. Na Ghana Parliament wabaya de papa. Said the back account kokofo no mu kwabiemo. Chemes abosumu. Yes we obi a wokopija na de ho den. Na sotro ne ba. Watimi agini ye. Sa se mrata na ye word. Se mra no constitution no. You be defended near protecting your womb bia. Ye ma wo bia. Sabra no near constitution. Womu dwane ya. Actually stolen verdict say womo no constitution we abon kan omompe. Enei womu actually say eye papa. Di bibi bebem bia eye omatam constitution ni aswa. Ese dia waso no ontie. Haruna Idusu akasa, Johnson Esedu Kete akasa, Honorable Clement Apaka akasa. Samne ba na eboboba. Na yedi aseda kese bema Spanish Garlic Misa, McDonald Shipping and Logistics, Austriac Real Estate, Prosta Joy, Wamada Urumane Techre di dwumadi eto aboboano enanwumre ewo baabi bia wo. Yedi NDC yedi empa ho asem ebetena se din ni ahwani ebeko. Yedi ye wo leader wo efie nyansa. Ye wo leader wo ye visionary. Ye wo leader wo wisdom. Ye wo leader on pen ho asem. Ye wo leader se wa broni bia katakata no. Ye wo leader ne soro ne nufu bia meto abonten. Ye wo leader ne birthday eba wo bi meka se ye de niema bi eba. Ye wo leader wo ahobrase nyamesuro ewo numu. Ye wo leader wo beji Ghana for sika wo di see schools adan. Ye wo leader wo ba beji tumi no wo di see hospitals ema Ghana for wo yi akwan edema Ghana for na so watutu omubutum aka so beji yi levy afri obi ho ene fertilizer bi sa se kwafo timeto ana hie nan ho simeti omne emra ona abosam na kujoto ablakwa waba betrase oye Northtown MP oye ranking member on Foreign Affairs Committee oye mrase bedwefie obadwuma papa nti enei ye no na eba betwetwe enkomo otu kwan eko Ukraine na oko Ukraine no yi Ghana this year yi omu fi Ukraine ko Romania okopie mo ho ne omu Asia so far yanete ya say 181 students ena omotimi di omayedan aba be PM ewo Ghana ha na sesia no wo mo de omabe PM ewo Ghana omo education abekosan ene ensembe ne wo ho awofo no ko ye no students ne ensembe ne omo akatememfo ho no omayo madwe so mo beba anasesan ene sitie abaye ne Apostle Bequin ye international relations director Edema Church of Pentecost etwetwe komo no acha Pentecost for so no omabo mo umadi ye papa ni nyina ayensema anwumre ye bedi hu enkomo ni ahwede ekoso wo parliament na nado ne jet ho nsem ene ne yekeka ho nyina ye besi nkonyai ye behwede ye salfo nsema attorney general ebobo ekeka ene nyema nyina no ye bedi ni nyina ye dan ho simete wa mu na yafa aboafo nkrato ni aba ye ba ye de aka nyina abesan ato amaso eye gumbe shoot gumbe na abete anwumre ye ba sisia
This advertisement has been vetted and approved by the FDA.
Hey, good papa. Ganabam, if your apostle, your waist, all your body, you make bazaar. Thank you so much. Thank you. To wait from doctor no. Where again? Oh my God. 20 cedi. Let's start tobacco. Ghana Bam, young to Emma to her. I first start tobacco. I think you will be 20 cedis. Hey, Nemo, say the Ghana Bam come. Sound 2 so
If you have Ghana, you can resist.
Welcome to AutoCheck Vehicle Diagnostic and Licensing Center.
I hear my car can be checked here without going to so many Accra.
Sure.
Emission, check.
Alignment, check.
Brakes, check.
Visit AutoChecks at Koforodia Aquadrum Road for the roadworthiness of your vehicle, from saloon cars to heavy-duty industrial vehicles. Madam, your car is now ready for the road.
Thank you so much. Auto checks, check.
AutoChecks, your safety, our priority.
Check, auto checks.
The average human body mass should have at least 60% water for optimal performance in any physical or mental exercise. We can help you maintain it naturally. X Natural Mineral Water. Simply natural.
If I cry na menyisika, edia ye mefui.
Ehin fapa na menya bosia, edia tre medjuma yimu.
Kai kra mabre mi yebusia ato taxi fufu. Suhum Rural Bank.
Suhum Rural Bank.
Yemamwa kwa baba Suhum Rural Bank. Ye won hyehyɛ ahodoɔ bi te sɛ dwadifo abosia, akuokuo bosia, susu account, ɛne da so wɔ hɔ savings account, mebada chain savings account, ɛne de akeka ho. Suhum Rural Bank was 034229186. Na won so wetumi aka sɛ
Suhum Rural Bank ama ene mayeka owner.
Suhum Rural Bank entime pa minie.
Suhum Rural Bank, growing our heritage.
Welcome to the Royal Dazzle Event Center. With a lush and well-maintained lawn and garden, you are assured of the best serene and comfortable atmosphere to organize all your family and social events. Live the royal moments here with friends and family. The hosting capacity of 600 to 800 people makes Royal Dazzle the most versatile of places to host weddings, parties, funerals, conferences, concerts, and many more. Create your memories with us. Call us for inquiries on 055-814-8585 or 024-620-2144, or pass by and speak to any of our friendly staff. Locate us at Myjohn, close to Zoom Lion headquarters. Royal Dazzle Event Center, creating memories.
If I cry na menyisika, edia ye mefui.
Ehin fapa na menya bosia, edia tre medjuma yimu.
Kai kra mabre mi yebusia ato taxi fufu. Suhum Rural Bank.
Suhum Rural Bank.
Yemamwa kwa baba Suhum Rural Bank. Ye won hyehyɛ ahodoɔ bi te sɛ dwadifo abosia, akuokuo bosia, susu account, ɛne da so wɔ hɔ savings account, mebada chain savings account, ɛne de akeka ho. Presuhum Rural Bank was 03422918696. Now one so what to me say.
Suhum Rural Bank. Ama ene my car owner.
Suhum Rural Bank. Entime pa minie.
Suhum Rural Bank, growing our heritage.
Esama kwaba edeba TVS was so Gumbe show enwumre TV nyina dum bakope ayaso no TVS was ha na Ghana fo nyina ehwe sanse ha ene ye kan sempa ena ha ena nokre no ni nyina ye ka no itibe bia wo bia enwumre ye mwakwaba edeba dwumadi aya to din se Gumbe show so na bia ye do no ye bedi oman yi ho enkomo na enai onumunyamfo ice won ho pa sanse ofru play koba ye wonya 72 hours kura oba ya na se da bi wo fie ni wo kɔ ne na otwetwe nkomo aka se obedu a wo bakɔ ba bi akɔ ha na obedi kan ya ba be kasa ansa na nso na ye frɛ no ahobrase akɔ se o se omuga na obetimi afrɛ mi ameka se memba meba dodo onimunyafo Samuel Okudjoto Ablakwa wo ye mrase bedwane di matememfo o mo won North Town abeto mpeso aso e wo Framantam voter region wo ye ranking member on the Foreign Affairs Committee. I want Mr. Bejafie. Minia,
Gumbe.
We shall forward to say,
for Coberty,
we say, I send a cry, and that's so a room. Now, Romania,
oh, Yamiadum, Bibia Boko, your coy, so, my case, your students are more. As I say, Danya Miasi, because Yenim said the AC over Ukraine, the invasion of Ukraine by the Russians, no, and yeah, as I'm Kitua, yeah, Kasa, say United Nations report and American almost so far civilian casualties about 1,335.
1,300.
Yes, it drew more than 1,300. Share the refugees or more. A journey every Ukraine exceeded 1.3 million.
Wow.
1.3 million. Wow. According to the UN Refugee Agency, no, almost say the fastest moving refugee crisis in the history of Europe since the Second World War. It's been seen since the Second World War. And there are some Kesepa the border towns. Border countries, they say Romania, Hungary, Poland, Slovakia, Moldova, and Czech Republic. I mean, so many people seeking escape or more a journey every the air coso or Ukraine. Na yenim say Ghana. Your students are almost medicine because of impediments. And I keep complaining about and really agitating against those barriers, those impediments. And you're seeing Colano Siadia, Omosia, the Omonia 8 A's, Ibiania 7 A's, 6 A's. Now, so you're the restrictions, you're the all kinds of barriers edia to omwenim enti omuntu me and medical school ewa and ntina emide say okay NDC manifesto one of the major reforms are promise here reforms at the tertiary education level with medical school and law school enti your students do wanna echo Ukraine, omuntu me enko University of Ghana Medical School, UCC Medical School, and UDS Medical School, no, omo echo Ukraine, and there's a very active recruiting agency, our Ghana, our more recruiting students into Ukraine to study medicine. Into more than 90% of your students are medical students.
And I heard Church of Pentecost, so more I do more now.
Exactly. Into OSHA statistics na many nooks executives kasa data na me hu ye no the omo 959 registered members, active due-paying members in Ukraine on the National Union of Ghana Students Ukraine database. Now, omo estimated say they have another 500. Until roughly, no, Yanka said about 1,500 students are omo Ukraine. Only about 31 and work government scholarship. Dudwana Ghana on their own and omo sacrifice to omo school fees. Until Russia invaded Ukraine on the 24th of February. No? They were left on their own. Until Nukes Ukraine for more executive. Fortunately, no na omo sika kakrabi ewo omo account mo about $3,000.
Good.
And they were very proactive. Me salute omo president Philip Bobier Ansan, young, enterprising, dynamic, sharp young man. He has a great future. And he was very proactive and mapping up an exit strategy into secure bases in the various towns. Omo Kiev, omo Kharkiv, omo Mariupol, Sumy, and all those places. And omo headed to the border. Unfortunately, no, you need permanent resident mission. You need embassy. Switzerland for the embassy or Ben, they are responsible. But it's now when you don't have the permanent mission, only physical support in terms of logistics and officials. No, you are really on your own. You were one consular official, but also no, he was quite unreachable. And as I say, you bought Nukes executive for Abaso and at the Pentecost Church. They were fantastic. I mean, me call her, I mean, Omoya, me share Elder Joshua, who shuttles between Russia and Ukraine.
Fantastic.
Omo Elder or Omo Deacon, and he's very fantastic.
Yes. And when we spoke to the director in charge of international affairs, Apostle Bequin, or can I say, Omo evacuate Omo say. Woman that do call say we a woman asoriba and I say we a Muslim we a gun in Kwani
de you're perfectly right. The amico who you know honestly no crane you can't evacuation Yankai said there are two parts. They are buying a year and my commend you more
for that
say students no akwako drew the various neighboring countries no Romania, Poland, Hungary, Slovakia, Moldova no. That's where the lifting took place. But the first part, how the students ever cross the border no. And they were so traumatized. And unfortunately, no, and I've made those observations, paper I'm presenting our parliament since I returned. Observations, maybe I say, next time I hear evacuation of this nature, no, as I say, your foreign ministry and your consular officials, so omo proactive.
Very.
Now, omo engage omo counterparts, the authorities in the other countries. In this case, Ukrainian. The Ukrainians should have been contacted. And border officials no should have been engaged.
So they will move difficulties.
Indians no yes. And so if you talk to our students, the countries who had their officials engaging the Ukrainian officials omunya priority into Indians, the French, Americans, the Brits, omunya priority. Africans appear to have been abandoned by their governments and they were on their own. Enona a feeding into the racism. Monitor will say United Nations and Africa Union issue reports. Eka say independent verification of racism also at the borders when Africans are trying to cross, they are not you know, giving the needed, you know, support. Only students in Kasa, because of the rush, the pandemonium, I mean, just imagine millions of people, you and Fuaka said, so far over 1.3 million and we're free. Yeah. And the estimate say by in the short term, by next week, you know, about 4 million Ukrainians will have left that country. Into just imagine the numbers. Into Omoka chairman said they had to pack their buses about 3 hours away from the border and then walk. Osha weather, no, it was snowing and all of that. Into what they have gone through, the trauma that they have gone through, I mean, it's unimaginable. Unfortunately, no, across here, no, there was no official to receive them. That is another observation, Amaya, and it's important, sir. As a country, we need an emergency response policy, particularly for our foreign ministry. So in some ways here, because you find out that every time, as I say, evacuation, if there's any disaster, whether man-made and unnatural, if there's any conflict, you notice that we always, you know, in some difficulty, and the situation now appears to even is now even more terrible. Until UTA students not carefully, it was clear, sir, they were largely on their own until, sir, Omo withdrew the capital. And another observation, so I'm here, and say, for the entire Romania operation, you say Romania was the country receiving the majority of Ghanaian students. Dodona Eco Romania, about 200.
Good.
And Romanians, as I say, fantastic. We say we've had a long-standing relations, the Nkrumah era, and all of that. And I mean, they are just so phenomenal. We share almost hospitality, the warmth. I mean, they're so kind. Hello Hotel, I mean, every lunch time, the volunteers, journalists, medical doctors, Bebaho, with their lunch packs and all of that. They did a great job. And as I say, you emphasize the racism that we complain about, you know, and it was probably at the Ukrainian side, but almost crossing enter Hungary, Romania, Poland. You know, there was humanity. There was that fellow feeling. Into the entire Romania operation, you won't believe, sir, it was only one consular official. Once your embassy was Czech Republic, Omona more concurrent responsibility. Yeah. Ente Mugabe. Ente una woka. Ente Mugabe. Ente almost just one consular official. Madame for Ahmed Tijani Abubakar. Mabona Basso, as a consular official, he did his best, but one man, as I say, Omo crossing the border, or ferry Omo, called the capital, Bucharest, or no one, as I say, or per hotel, or no one, as I say, or per tickets, a Omo airport, you know, to then be transferred to Ghana. Into all of these assignments, this such a humongous responsibility on one person. And I know the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, Omanya, the embassy official, Omanya, and I have said, sir, if we have an emergency response plan, we can map out Europe. We share your embassies are your. We have a mission at Moscow, Bern, Geneva in Switzerland. Your missions in London, Oslo, you know, and we could have mobilized. Then they will have more personnel to assist. The other shortcoming, so I mean, and it's evacuated students, you know, gone through a lot of hellish circumstances to cross the border, no, and then we ferry them to the holding hotel, no. Now you need any medical support. You need any psychological support, counselors, and these are countries that are top professionals all over Europe. We should have been more proactive. And as a government, you know, I was expecting, say, they will have reached out to your professionals to offer some assistance, because once nipa no on prior there, ebia ni nan embuye, but psychological trauma, because war situation, bombs and the kinds of scenes, because we know Mukasa, I hosted them to lunch, there were about 200 of them. And yes, and at least I know the amount had even objective, you know, and you notice or more concern how, you know, that psychological support, you know, can come in to assist them. And I want to appeal to governments, and yet too late to extend that psychological support to them. Omwaba Bedru Ghana at this point, particularly as we come to the end of the evacuation. Now, there's
students in the Ukraine.
Charlie, well, as at we are with Philip Bobiansa Kasai, president, no, or Kasai just about 14 or more. No, I was Sumi, the city of Sumi. There be more ahead. Initially, not person beba. Initially, no more President Putin. He wouldn't go this far. But the way it's like now, no, everything is fair game. Bombardment, no, and one also consistent bombardments all over the place, and no city appears to be spared. Into Omona and common pese Ombeba Ghana or Masses Omajin are more headed to the borders. But the challenge I faces is here, say Omuko drew the holding countries now. Omon pese Ombeba. It be cry a ticket a more, but the Omote every Ghana. The news or what their parents are telling them, what their friends are telling them, you know, they think that they are better off staying in Europe. But when I was engaging them, I appealed to them. Maybe catch you almost say, better say Ombeba, because person obe call mindful for now. Visa now Ukraine Ukraine visa, and it's a student visa. It's not for you to go and work, and it's not for those other jurisdictions that will call. You chills is in as a importer. You have a negative record. I may affect you. And moya yadeshe courses are more very very important courses. Here these medical doctors. Intiana, my appeal is so far no. Bulgarians, Hungarians, Canadians, and Grenada for the Caribbean nation Grenada. On my office, say your medical students don't move through Ukraine. No, to me abaho. My abesian. You see, but maybe say, how about Yankasa universities, Ghanaian universities, public universities, private universities? Because it's a very fundamental question and a very important one. Students were about 200 of them were final year. Now I cut 3 months now Omar graduated. Just 3 months. And then this disaster struck. And these students, Ghana, the Ministry of Education, Ministry of Health, Ministry of Foreign Affairs and Regional Integration, and the managers of our medical school, amount to me and tenacity, package. The President of the Republic and Kasa, same way to be engaging in attention so that he can at least reach out to them. Because more aka 3 months, a bit of 5th year, and we need 4th year. We need them. Share the statistics. I've been looking at the statistics. Unem say, World Health Organization, aka say, the gold standard, doctor to patient ratio, it should be 1:1,000. Osha the Ghanaian situation. Ghana, you were 1:1,635. Into we are nowhere near the global benchmark. Ejuma wohoa, as I say, Now, Osha even regional breakdowns are very, very worrying. And when you have a situation where you have these our nationals we can have some support for them. Sorry, Ghana, 1:6,355, not 1,035.
Wow.
It's a more precarious situation. 1,000.
So we need
one doctor to 6,355 patients.
It's too much.
You know, it's terrible. And we cannot have this situation. And these are doctors or prospective doctors who we really need.
Fantastic.
I mean, charity must begin at home.
Sanity.
We must show concern. We must show empathy. Yeah, exactly. Already, no. It was because, I mean, who would really want to, especially for first degree, you know, want to go out there into the cold and a different terrain because of the lack of opportunities. As I say, yes, so you're born. Yes, so now, I want to renew my appeal to the government of Ghana. Say, these students are and look, believe you me, once the Ministry of Foreign Affairs issue statement say students no do so far my evacuated 181. We are talking about some 1,500 students, only 181 and evacuated. It tells you that because they don't know
future.
What future, you know, I mean, lies for them. What hope they have. Can you imagine, sir, if we put in place the necessary arrangements, announcements, say, say no, more, I mean, regardless of your level, move to me academic transfer of your credit into first year, or second year, or third year, or fourth, fifth year. You can just transfer, you know, your credits, and because in any case,
and some of them can be assets.
Your predecessors, no, we always accept them. They write the national exam that is organized by the Medical and Dental Council, and then they are inducted as medical doctors. Into yenim say Ukrainian standard high or more you can't question the credibility, the quality of the Ukrainian medical education. Until we know that, until just create a special dispensation, nema omo kwanse omo beye, you know, that credits transfer na omo to me a graduate. When we do that, omo say, oh, okay, there's that empathy, we care, you know, about them, and that is why visit now me could do. You could see the excitement, the joy, because
sorry MP na what could do abaya sumama
there be abaya sumama
you went there on your own.
Yes, and personal resources and taxpayers' money, and me they call me discuss it with the leadership of my caucus. And you know that the Honorable Haruna Idrisu, he really believes in initiative or a fantastic, outstanding, you know, indefatigable leader of the caucus, and he really encourages ranking members. Say, move take initiative, move the ideas. Until we know discuss on the Honorable Muntaka, we can say, oh yeah, it's a great idea. I mean, we encourage you to go. Until we could draw her on Wednesday, I think the 2nd of March.
And
I mean, well, photos, no, I mean, it became like a picture session, and they're now. Colleagues, the Nigerians were also in that hotel. No movie said, hey, I mean, so how is it that Ghana, you guys are so lucky? You know, a member of parliament is here, and it was not a partisan matter. It didn't matter whether NDC. It's about say Ghanaian official about the your students, and to check on them, to assess their conditions, and to see how you better lunch in a bipartisan way. Yeah, na me catch almost this pack lunch business. No, looking at all what they've gone through. Yanko restaurant, Papa, na Yanko Didi, and they were so excited. It was a great session.
Fantastic.
And they opened up into me what they've gone through, and it was at that lunch session. Omunyana ebo omo colleague female abasu Mame Akosia. Mame Akosia, I wrote her name down here. I celebrated her earlier. Mame Akosia Ejakobia Ado. Ejakobia Ado. Or yeah, the Yaa Santua of our era. Final year medical student. They don't know where her energy came from. Or no dear. Somewhat just wanted to give up, said the ABC on the Ukrainian side. On non-Kwande, she had so much energy going back and forth. And I had a special photo session with her. And I have even arranged Enchebia Yabemano some special recognition in our parliament because we need to motivate these heroines of our time. It was a very, very good session. Now, also, the motivating me, Osha other legislators in other jurisdictions now. Asemsia omukoho eko assess. One senator who was renowned for that, the late John McCain. Also, during the so-called war on terror by the Americans, Onono as the leader of the opposition on his committee, the Armed Services Committee, not on dependent on just reports from the executive. They be our ground into Behuno. Now we call Iraq. Now we call Afghanistan. We call Pakistan.
Was everywhere.
On troops, directly. Kasel pese or engage on more side of the story. Into you bring us a report. Menkasa, we don't trust the Ministry of Foreign Affairs under the executive. Menkasa, but as the Americans say, trust but verify. And Uko grounds were the kind of angles, the kind of perspectives, the various issues. You get a hands-on and a more detailed, view of the situation. And no amount of paperwork and reports and hearsay and third-party evidence can, as it were, meet that kind of standard. It's nothing beats you going to the ground and assessing for yourself. Because Osha, a lot of the observations, Mikoye say, Ankamankohwa. And it's going to help our committee, ministry officials now.
Parents, more engagement where there was
many parents need be cry kasaya. They were so excited into your parents say, we have been visited by an honorable MP, the honorable Kujetua Blackwa is here. It be a video calls cry. Colleague students cry now Sumi and a kaki for that point in the crowd, or more video calls for me to and to encourage them and all of that.
Students will be in
there be so far. Indians and Indian students be and Kenyan students unfortunately, but Ghanaian students so far. And also, as I say, commend them. They were really assisting, tracking the progress. I mean, a parent's love. And what we haven't even highlighted, they say, some of them a pesika credit or ticket, to get to have them evacuated quickly. To say, Mami Akosia say, I mean, the father couldn't wait. Ne papa ya pharmacist apparently. Many omokasa, and so they had the means to on their own. Now anka buying evacuating I think in 2 days or 3 days time, but ne papa say on buying them. Say on no free one son and me free me free Romania. You should. I mean, I be motivated a lot of our young ladies.
Fantastic.
It's been a very very good visitor. I mean, Abuaye. You better make sure, sir. My submitting statement to Parliament on the visit and observations. My observations may be a consular fund, for example. 2017 Auditor General's report. As I say, embassies abroad. There were 55 diplomatic missions abroad. Omuni consular fund. BBC Sika Omodebe attended to distressed Ghanaians. Sometimes they have to engage in misapplication. The Auditor General has raised those concerns consistently in Parliament. Yakansa say, SSA, the Ministry of Finance, a populated consular fund. The Minister of Finance cannot be bothered. As same way see, and Kanye Nooks Ukraine, and Kanye Pentecost Church, Omo boy na Omo Sika, Omo Tia the bus first, you know, to get to the borders are. I mean, the embassies had no budget for such a situation. It's one of the recommendations of Maya said. The observations even make it more, I mean, crucial. So, as I said, our consular fund, you establish the fund so that living, because Ochinabi will not be lucky. Say, there will be a Pentecost church and a Nooks Ukraine. Our Mwosika in the account to assist. Fantastic. You know, and when these emergencies strike, obi Johnny wajane ne ATM card, wajane ne personal belongings. I mean, running for dear life. And he or she even has a presence of mind to know, you know, how much must be carried, what is required to be paid for, and all of that. And I just hope, sir, lessons will be learned. But so far, no, we have got all of these, our nationals.
Fantastic.
I mean,
thank you.
Back, and then others are in the various European countries. No? They are in good spirits. They are safe. But as I emphasized earlier, no, a big here pass medical schools, the Ministry of Education. As I say, Omo aka 3 months to graduate. Omo final year, 5th year. We have to create a special dispensation. I mean, what will it hurt?
We will champion this course. It's very, very laudable idea, and we all need to champion a yes, our course. Honorable, you better ask for that fantastic job. Our Kobo, a year Romania, a day Abagano for you know that was it. Sans Okoy and one Koya partisan say the NDC phone and maybe show one share party cards be out. Nimoko Sagan and ni eba better was a papa. Yet the Asidaka Sebema a year Spanish garlic mesa and then the capsules or Madame Macahubi and the Digimedi to Abuan baby be a war and the enemy. Hypertension how diabetes now will be our Dawshan Cromo will be our baby now when you're henny Memano and Jauko Vitino I say about JJ may come for a Spanish garlic mesa. And then the capsules and the amawo Spanish Junko capsules and so abba and no boy improve memory and mental sharpness so and as I increase blood flow to the brain TPB said the be a ubenum netumi says we pa pharmacy shop be a wagana habi remono ubenye be at all 0266 114 ofra ye beje so na bibia so akonkai kama so at the amount prosa joy dupa abba obia eja wenya prostate enlargement wenya so benya prosa joy ni bi na wanom said the be ya ebetumi aboa wapom den no na eja prostate no enlargement no enyema koyie ede amawo obia Johnson tentem edura na dwa betumi adwonso be empire num nsia so ansa na de ache ojonso na ojonso ni mu ache mi no wo ye bema ojonso na bema mu ye wo ya ebon kai se prostate enlargement no eno ena ebon ho enkaye no tutumirika na ko ni kire pharmacy shop bi e wo Ghana ha na ko Presta Johnny bi nenom na we uton so a ye be kire kwan ya fa so ye nom no obi a wo bo ho ban afiri wenye mfiri de sanum eko no 35 years eko nenim no wo be nom ba ko every day ne mom wanya prostate enlargement ni bi a wo be nom ba ko anopa ba ko anwumre wo de wani kire pharmacy shop bi e wo Ghana ha wo benya bi ato 0244 727028 wo fra ye beje wo so Magdan Shipping and Logistics. Umada urumaka hote chini yedi jumedi ebreo. Magdan so onkwabata ewa Equatorial Guinea. Obi wa Liberia, obi wa Sierra Leone. Back project cargo, warehousing, customs brokerage, cargo handling, haulage, sea and air freighting, vessel handling, chartered flight, ship agency. Ene kika hunyina say transit a goods from one country to another. A basa ni mani nyinama Magdan Shipping and Logistics omo eye number 1 for woni eche wona soye ahodo ni nyina Ghana ha wo friend number ya bibia wo bia no emwa wo hia fi wo maso no wo betumi abo eba eye shipping mo dia say eba charter flight mo dia Magdan Shipping wo number 1 friend 0302 502158 and 0302 762280 ube email wo so a sales@magdanshipping.com o send email a o sabe to me aka ubibia ewo Ostek real estate se men kan chew so obi a ope asase esidan na so ya be for landlord and landlady ope so ye fi wura baby a yensase ewo no eye baby a manso bia eni so ye wonsase ni bi wo Shy Hills ebi wa Frenya ebi wa Sochare Junction be San City Estate ebi wo Doyumu Dodowa Asebi Dowenya Chopoli ewo nyina ye wonsase ni bi ewo ho ya so ye na se woto asase a Ostek real estate ye ma 200 blocks ni ama 10 bars of cement na de se ofie ni si ase ebi a wo ye boga ofri America ofri Germany ofri France Belgium Italy United Kingdom oba bidu wo de ka bi ene baaye eja pese wo de ka no eje ensase so a Ostek real estate se men kan kiro se wo mo betumi abo ye papa wo mo kira kwan ewo Dodowa omne fire service station e di hwe mu from 0244 684069 0244 684069 na 0240 9333748 ofra omo ebeje so Eswazi Broadcasting Limited Isache wodo na yede banyakopon aduma Friday 15th of April 2022 yede dwumedie kese pa na de esi ni so ni nyina se ye be kire wodo de ama eye uma omunyi bie nyanka mobrof wafo no na eja umonso no that day umonso sa etumi akomo ano eno ye kya se niema bi awo ya wo pese yede ekoche eye nyanka efie awodo no eno aso de beba se ye ntade se ye mo se ye anwa bibi bia wo bia de be so se isi kanso na pese eja yede bo wo ma eye momo number no 059 7215419 MTN money mobile money number no 059 7215419 na said eja twe kronkron eka no wose obi bia obeboa ne yonko no Onyankopon befa so no ahweso no ayeden na wo hyira no nti wo so kire wodo na me so wo so die entumi emrem yesi givers never lack nti kire na wo so wanya dodo ede aka ho yimakonya da woro maka ho na de dwumedi ebreo ene anwumre ewo TVS was it Gumbe show well ye be sha se na fe ye free eye Ukraine sensem no ni aba efie ni ahwe other issues a eno so ebobo ba eho ehia yie papa ye be di kan awua eye parliament eno ani ahwe eye Supreme Court ruling na eba ye no na afi yahwe eye omo so a omo nko parliament omo parliament honorable I believe say what raise this idea no recently ewo eye mrase bedwafie say wo MPs bia saa eye da de ato say da be say no ye hum ewo mrase bedwafie wa itimi eka say we seat no ya declare say vacant ene ne ewo ho no ye person we educate ye kakra ene anwumre na de ekoso no utimi bi hu ne ekoso na de hia Ghana for pan so say na do start say ye nya wa hai they say be say nya tentem should be na now started so offer chartered flight to kwan no if free a year last year basis this year no e ka san and wabo oman na no so wadawro ma me say won krata ni nyina na watumi di mo so breakdown no e de amati memofo e wo man say nya ne tie say umatom want to move from 14 echo a year 18 right Obo fantastic just free a year Supreme Court ruling self see and first deputy speaker the two deputy speakers no wo now voting right to metimi atoaba at the same time omo president nsema a minority leader so ekaye any nsema etwema first deputy speaker so ekaye you was say ekaye any nsema general ne benefo bibe so ekaye ansana ruling no and so eba. Fantastic. Over to you.
Yo, Eddie Kain, as I say, Yenina, Yetias, you can't sovereignty. Sovereignty. To me, Ghana, sovereignty, it resides in the people. It doesn't reside in parliament. We call other jurisdictions. Parliament and a yes of sovereign. Sovereignty resides in their parliament, and some other countries are judiciary, the Supreme Court. Over Ghana, we share your constitution, the 1992 constitution. Sovereignty resides in the people. And the ultimate power, no, it's clearly with the people of this country. Enti yenyina ye ejuma either say or the legislative arm or the executive arm. If you find yourself in the judiciary, you are not above the people. And Ghana for the sovereign people of Ghana, omona omwamaye to me. We exercise the authority we have, the mandate we have, on behalf of the people.
The masses, the constituents.
And nobody should take the masses of this country as fools. Nobody should think,
citizens.
Nobody should think that the people of this country, the citizens of this nation, can be taken for granted. Bebia yede ye extreme partisanship, no, and the petty, narrow political games, destroying institutions, desecrating the constitution. No? We need to be very, very careful. Our parliament, we are not above the people.
No.
The president, he's not more powerful than the people. It's the people who put him there.
No.
Supreme Court judges are not more powerful. They are not above the people. And the people can see, they can reason. Amongst the people, we have very distinguished, rational citizens. Obia ehun de ekoso. Obia ehun. Share this matter of whether deputy speakers can vote. Constitution no very, very clear. We are even trying to create different categories of speakers. What kind of Article 102 of our Constitution? Very, very, very unambiguous. Article 102, a quorum of Parliament, apart from the person presiding, shall be 1/3 of all members of Parliament.
1/3.
1/3, apart from the person presiding. 1/3. Apart from the person presiding. Into who preside here, you cannot count yourself. You are not part of the quorum. Into for the Supreme Court to say that sham meeting approving the 2022 budget, illegal. When they didn't have the numbers. Because Muya 137, half present and taking meeting and taking decision. Okay, Article 104(1). Say, except as otherwise provided in this Constitution, matters in Parliament shall be determined by the votes of the majority of members present and voting, with at least half of all the members of Parliament present.
At least half.
At least half. Majority present and voting. Into who Speaker no. At that time, won't count because Article 102 is very clear. Look, there is nothing ambiguous. Interpretation be in here on this matter. Very clear. You are not part of the quorum. Now, if you are not part of the quorum, how do you then vote? You are not part of the quorum. Unka quorum. You unka quorum now to take a decision. How do you then have voting rights? Meanwhile, who can you standing orders? Who can order 7? You can speaker. Usha Sena, your standing orders are defining speaker in our standing orders. Or see, page 6 of our standing orders. Speaker or Mr. Speaker includes a member presiding at a sitting. Includes a member presiding at a sitting. It is about the office of the speaker. The office of the speaker. It's not about where the or your MP. The substantive speaker. Once you are presiding, yeah, in Article 102, very clear. Say whoever is presiding, won't quorum now. I mean, it's shocking. It's shocking. Look, this is my 3rd term in Parliament. So far, that your standing orders now, article standing order 1093, I almost say I must strike it down because it's unconstitutional. To me and up to now, which provision of the Constitution that it affronts and it violates? Meaning, who kind standing order 13? Standing order 13. Standing order 13 too. I see, wherever the House is informed by the clerk at the table of the unavoidable absence of Mr. Speaker, the first Deputy Speaker shall perform the duties and exercise the authority of Mr. Speaker in relation to all proceedings of the House until Mr. Speaker resumes the chair without any further communication to the House. 3. Whenever the House is informed by the clerk at the table of the unavoidable absence of both Mr. Speaker and the first Deputy Speaker, the second Deputy Speaker shall perform the duties and exercise the authority of the Speaker in accordance with paragraph 2 of this order. It is the Speaker's office. Once you preside, you don't have a vote.
Joe said,
Interna Joe said, "Wuswankasa." Earlier, on one kasa ekache na yenyina yeti parliament and okay or on one kasa he read these provisions, standing orders, constitution eka say once you are presiding you don't have a vote. You don't vote. On one kasa eka
yekotie ensema aye Joe Osei Wusu, first deputy speaker of parliament. It is ensema okai.
Honourable members, when it comes to the question of voting, it is very clear. Any time any of the deputy speakers or any other member elected to preside is in the chair, that member does not vote. That has never been in dispute. Any time a member is presiding, either a deputy speaker or a member who by necessity is elected from among members to preside, that person does not vote.
That is the speaker. That is the first deputy speaker. And that is consistent with Article 1042.
So what I say?
Article 1042, I say the speaker shall have neither an original nor casting vote. Because in this constitution, Article 1042(3), I say, where the votes of any motion are equal, it shall be taken to be lost.
I just say,
137, the matter is lost. There is no need for any casting vote. Because speaker whoever is presiding, and you're standing order 7 are defining speaker to include the deputies. The Supreme Court there, but look, the Supreme Court will have to strike many other that order 1093 so many other orders. Now and maybe drew her me share my video about the president arguing say nipa no ye MP.
The parliament
is once deputy speakers no mo ye MP no you cannot deny their constituents the right to have a say. Into the deputy speakers must have a vote. I mean, very strange, very bizarre. Because okay, this our constitution, and yet time biana we are MP or vote because just by the mere fact that you are MP. OSHA Article 1045. Or say a member who is a party to or a partner in a firm which is a party to a contract with the government shall declare his interest and shall not vote on any question. Shall not vote on any question relating to that contract. Until your instances are we are MP. Now say there's a clear conflict of interest. What does the president say about that? Your standing order way, our standing orders. Order 2115. Order 2115. Another instance where an MP cannot vote. 2115. Or say the chairman of committees, the chairman shall not have an original vote, but in the event of an equality of votes, he shall give a casting vote. That is Yaba committee meetings. Order 211, it relates to division in committees. Into committees. Into chairman of committees, at the committee level, omuni vote. Who are chairman of, say, finance committee, and a chairman of foreign affairs committee, and a chairman of a public accounts committee, and a poverty alleviation committee,
foreign affairs,
works and housing committee, transport committee. Only original vote, only vote. But you are MP. Does that mean that the people you represent have been shortchanged? No. Into these arguments all over the place, no? I mean, look, it is as our leader said, no? Yes, let's find a way to use judicial maneuverings to give some people an advantage with numbers, because the numbers don't favor them. A hang parliament. Christian
Council for Namakasamunti.
And you see, Mugabe,
the clergy.
Unim say, despite all these machinations, Unim say, yeah, Kasa say, Omo the majority group in parliament. And yeah, Omo majority on paper. Yang NIA majority group. NDC. Because NDC, because we have all our 137 MPs intact. Omono, they can't find the Honorable Ajosaf, Omuni Baby Owo. The Honorable Kojokum, the chieftaincy minister.
Okay, Hunter West.
Hunter West. I wish him a speedy recovery. But clearly, no. All of us in that position, hell first. There is no way, my doctors say I should recuperate. I need time to recover. Maybe 6 months and now 1 year. Then you want to drag me out of my sick bed when that movement will undermine and jeopardize my health. Despite all of these pathetic maneuverings or more, this somersaulting, turning the constitution upside down, this desecration, despite all of what they are doing, Nyame Kasa, Ghana for our musu, Kasa e-levy way, yempe. We have suffered enough. Yentua e-levy biom for you to use for this your sybaritic, profligate, ostentatious, extravagant travels. Omo bompire. Empire ni yejuma. Those who are in the majority groups, they say no. The NDC, real majority, and who has been declared on paper, who has the numbers? Internal, as we speak, 11 is no longer even featuring on our business statements. Every week when we go to Parliament, Eniho is vanished because they don't have the numbers, and they know that Omo presented will vote against it. Whether first deputy speaker can decide, can decide to bring 2 chairs to preside at the same time and vote at the same time. They still don't have the numbers. They don't have the numbers.
na there be who say parliament emrano mo standing orders ne saying that me pese we educate more on that say obi betima akasa me yare na afe no ma parliament senate
good
and I know do be a mutimi tu ho na mo na ye koto abafoforo e wo ho senate city na afe yakosa nso the anamwa age has e2 e wo buem ene ESA issue no so.
Good question.
Fantastic.
Osha Article 97
of the
Constitution of Ghana 1992.
Fantastic.
The Chrowo Hose. A member of parliament shall vacate his seat in parliament, A, upon a dissolution of parliament, or B, if he is elected as Speaker of Parliament, or C, if he is absent, and this is the relevant clause, if he is absent without the permission in writing of the Speaker, and he is unable to offer a reasonable explanation to the Parliamentary Committee on Privileges from 15 sittings of a meeting of Parliament during any period that Parliament has been summoned to meet and continues to meet. Into Article 97 1C. Ubekaya and chair na any animal the MPP side. Na omunyana atuabo ajosafo so say honorable ajosafo wa miss parliamentary sitting for more than 15 days until as I say you declare the seat vacant na you got to abafo for by election so that they can get a more pliant member or bebo mo a pass on e-levy. And me decided say mayor research no I'll go into the votes and proceedings. Into votes and proceedings no me the copies by and no na a recorded the attendance.
Oh, documents
and no na these are the votes and proceedings. And no na a recorded attendance. Into in the first session of the 8th Parliament of the 4th Republic of Ghana, votes and proceedings. Minutes of the first sitting of the 3rd meeting of Parliament, Tuesday, 26 October 2021. Into a recorded 3 categories. Omoya present. The following honorable members were present. Omoaba Omotina chamber ho. Omoa Akonia. They are in attendance. That's the first category. Second category, Omoa absent but with permission.
Absent but with permission.
Absent but with permission.
Fantastic.
That is the second category. Omo chirokrata akoma speaker. So this is that category. The following honorable members were absent with permission. Na alesti omudin. Inti omo chiro krata koma speaker say ebia emergency BHC wa my constituency and me was some health challenge inti mean to me ember na yama omo sometime inti no speaker amao permission to be absent. That's the second speaker.
Second deputy speaker.
Speaker. The right honorable speaker. Yes. Your provisions are very clear.
Fantastic.
And a third category, the following honorable members were absent. Into Omwamba and almost Omwango permission.
Good.
Omwanji permission free speaker. Into that category, that third category, and no Omona Article 97 1C I refer to. So Omoya stubborn. Omo person be parliament. Omoya stubborn. Recalcitrant. Ya to abama omo say omo be ye ejuma. Omo person be parliament.
Thank you.
Meanwhile, on him say my name is research team when we went through the record votes and proceedings.
Stubborn of one.
From January 7, 2021. On him say MPP phone kwana yehu almost say omomba parliament. 3 of them.
3.
The Honorable Ajosafo, the Honorable Kennedy Japan na onona na all leaded the church against Honorable Ajosafo. Say yen declare the seat vacant. On no crowd now were absent in the whole, even far more than Ajosafo. Na or attacking. On no 18 sittings.
Started flight akofano.
Yeah, 18 sittings from 26 October to Thursday 25th November 2021 Wamba Parliament. Consistently. 18. The last time it is were responding to me or say or on the medical records. That is not that is what the Constitution says. That's what our standing order says.
It will be betting me
I really don't see how. And the third person, the Honorable Henry Korte, Greater Accra Regional Minister. Into those three constituencies, no, Dom Kwabenya, Asin Central, Ayawaso Central. Those three say on my way, Emra Eye Juma. Those three constituencies are vacant because when him say Professor Kweku Azan 2008. Oko appeals court on this matter started from the High Court. That was the time now Privileges Committee Asia almost say Honorable Amwatin seat. Honorable Amwatin he can be absent indefinitely. He can be absent indefinitely because now you're channel or America on smuggling of cocaine, illicit drugs. The appeal court held say you can't. The people
representing
must be represented. Yeah. You can't say indefinitely. Until the appeal court said, once you cross the 15 days without permission, it's the duty of Parliament to inform the Electoral Commission. And within 21 days, fresh election should be held. Until on my way, say, it's rule of law. It's a constitutional republic. We are not a banana republic. It's not a jungler. Omwa, as I say, a declare seat vacant. And yet, NDC for no mu chase, and yet Jomoro MP no. And yet, the Honorable Kwesi no. There are 3 vacancies as we speak, technically speaking, which show the record, the votes and proceedings. And you consider Article 97(1)(c) and the case that has been clearly determined, the Professor Kweku Azar case, clearly determined, no ambiguity at all. Fantastic. I believe that we have to be warming up for those 3 by-elections because your serving notice we will pursue this matter.
Hey.
Oh yes, yes, that's in Central. Your candidates are more those who are interested should be warming up. Yes, because if they think that they can be using the back door and all these judicial gymnastics to be harassing your MPs, Jomoro MP, Honorable Dorcas Toffee, the Honorable Jachi Kwesin, that fine gentleman, very refined, polished, dedicated, hard-working legislator. Omuhana Junsa, Onye Bonibia, he had no evil intent, were declared, long before he even filed, were applied for Ghanaian citizenship, and yet he's being harassed. Should the Omodiye Honorable to force him, the ranking member of the Finance Committee, just trumped up charges. Any dubious attempt just to whittle down our numbers. Meanwhile, Obiti said a bipartisan committee of inquiry. Indicting who must be fired. They are still keeping him at post. And I am clear in my mind. Say, look, all this pathetic gymnastics are cost. Look, Minya Mugabe. Sa election where Ghana for a tour by December 7, 2020. Osha outcome now. And you clear say Ghana for a tour about power sharing. For power sharing.
The will of the people.
It was a power sharing vote. Osha the hung parliament. And I believe, it was the NDC had a majority. But let's go with what was declared by the EC. Hung parliament. For the first time in this country's history, first time, it didn't see that. The Speaker of Parliament, in free president, ne party, in Sida. If you are a leader, we are nationalists, we are patriots, we are mature, you have the people at heart.
Humble yourself.
Meaning, if this had happened under a President Mahama presidency and now a President Mills presidency, all these tensions are through. Yes, say institution, yes, desecrating your constitution. I mean, you'll have seen, there will be a lot of bridge building, consensus building. You know, yenina yebetena se yenye bako yen kabum na yen share sena. Look, many ukasa say, I get very, very worried. Oshe ye statistic ni nyina. Minim say what pay attention to the population and housing census. Look, as I said, Ghana for nyina, and particularly your leaders. Sa population and housing census, yanko kai. Unim say 2021 population and housing census. Actually say unemployment is at an all-time high. 13.4%. 1.55 million Ghanaian youth. Any ejuma biya.
That's more half of the population.
Meanwhile, the last time your year census in 2010, it was just 5.3%.
And then in ejuma.
Na any ejuma. It has almost tripled.
13.
In just 11 years. 13.4% minia. Meanwhile, in the category, we share the category of 15 to 24-year-olds. 32.8%. Any ejuma amuya. And then World Bank report almost assessing your unemployment situation. Almost say 50% of even those who are working, they are underemployed. Just say they are overqualified. They just baby, just 1 2 1 something for the road. Into underemployment. 50%. The worst in sub-Saharan Africa.
Security threat.
Major security threat. Into these major issues, as I say, you pursue. We are spending all the time E-levy desecrating constitution, undermining institution, destroying the pillars of democracy just for E-levy, which will not even the revenues generated will not be used prudently. They would waste it on profligacy, on extravagance, on ostentation. Meaning, when they say what kind that population housing census, or more revealing say Ghana about 10.6 million of your structures, houses are your one. 57% of those structures are kiosks, metal, wooden kiosks, and a metal kiosks. Ujin say is for shops. Say to a dear womb. Now so nipa dem, that is people's residence in our population housing census. And all of this have worsened until you can see say this country we are moving backwards. Under
this administration.
Under this administration. And I would have thought say enema way necessary engaging your attention. Just look at the rate of inflation. Share your debt to GDP ratio, excess of 80%. World Bank country director, 1 year. Since I became politically conscious. Say a World Bank country director, kasa publicly, normally diplomatically behind the scenes, or Mokoshia, finance ministers, presidents. When you have a World Bank country director, publicly, saying say Monkano the citizens. Sika yede mamo $100 million, over $600 billion. You are not accounting accurately. Now, say, look, even the international community, they've just had enough. They can't believe what kind of cabal
chartered flights
are governing this country.
Chartered flights.
Meaning a chartered flight, Sasem, it is so heart-wrenching. I mean, anytime I become so angry. Say, on my way, you were presidential jet. Your presidential jet, and say you was one paid. A party ni President Kufuor. And now order presidential jet.
Because one of the toy home, so man and I crashing to me.
I mean, your presidential jet, President Weah, or to me, boy and Besray and say, and he uses it. Really? Madabio, Sierra president, or what? Sano, Cavedian president, or Munyana, or more Besray and say, more presidential jet, no, yes, you say you're using it.
Saying any taste.
presidential jet who kind the parliamentary records a lifespan of 20 years. We have just done 12 years.
And penny.
Ente minia say who per se who took coin like an Arabian king, a Russian oligarch, a British aristocrat at the same time, one kwana. And the other thing nana uniwa private jet and son will be the president. You should have had that kind of LXDI or no. At least your tongue on the open market, $110 million. Kotobi. Why didn't you have one? Yourself. Why didn't you have one? Ente at our expense, Ghana for the poor Ghanaian taxpayer. Nipa wuka se ube protected the public purse.
I will protect the public purse.
I will protect the public purse.
Yes.
Is this how we protect the public purse? Meaning, when you say from May, to February this year, President Akufo-Addo, this chartered aircraft, Yesika was say 25 million Ghana cedis.
Hey!
Yes. Conservative estimate.
Say
25 million.
For May last year?
Yes.
ABC February?
ABC February this year. Yes.
Say
25 million Ghana cedis. I'm telling you as a matter of fact. Look, I thought they'd be when I put out these figures.
250 billion old Ghana cedis.
Yeah. Look, Mugabe, look, for the first time on public television, Maminche Obibi, when I put out these figures, sometimes I read comments and we say, oh, who made him an aviation expert, where he's conjuring the figures. What is this? Global Jet, charter and brokerage, charter offer, DSA. We thank you very much for your charter inquiry, and we are pleased to provide you with the following offers. In time, Minya, the itinerary of the president.
Wow.
I have a pseudonym to say me some other national be.
Wow.
Na masende omo. Say me pese me charter LXDI no, because me were aircraft details no. Into LXDI me pese me charter. We me throw email to them say me per quote from Abuja to London, because it's just Abuja near Accra, just 30 minutes to London and back, just round trip.
Return.
Round trip. Share price of Mudemami, 239,000 euros.
Wow.
Yes, for just that, just one trip.
Empowerment.
Yes. LXDI. Yeah. LXDI. Yeah. And when o de bag Ghana Sika who convert here, just Abuja, London, Abuja. 1.8 million Ghana cedis. Into chartered aircraft, and yet people think that I'm just concocting figures. Look, and a way crown schedule much over. Almost say this price does not include additional insurance premiums, de-icing costs, satellite, phone calls and internet, change of destination. Into Uber Ukodruebia. You want to move, who could do America, who call Virginia, who call New York, who call Maryland, who call California, Texas. Massachusetts. And no, separate. Into all those change of destination. An additional 3% charge for payments of credit cards. And yet, no.
Someone could you tab black one.
Or more parking.
You say na could no.
Parking. This is the company, Global Jet. Almost say, thank you very much for your request and for your interest in Global Jet. Kindly find attached to this email the details for your round trip. However, take note that Gatwick Airport will cost you an additional 12,000 euros. More expensive due to taxes and fees.
Gatwick.
Yes. Until President Akufo-Addo called Lande or Gatwick, he pays additional 12,000 euros. I mean, Nkofo say figures now made it to journal. It is just no. One say since me started expose in May. One say have they put out any counterfeit?
They can't.
They cannot.
Yeah.
And yes, sir, Obia minam kwan so ena me propaganda. Our parliament ma file questions. Defense minister, finance minister, national security minister. Almost say a national security.
Finally, on boom, this son of a infant social and Yanamotua AG to the
In here, the Attorney General Becca our Parliament and most disingenuous, most dishonest, and one say hang Parliament inti hang Parliament way the summer bapao hang Parliament inti Attorney General name say yakoto aba ewo sala NDC will become a clear majority group in Parliament. Into Omayentu, into Ose, or no dear what he's preparing for, advisor or the cabinet or the president. ASA South Wono, Yansan running the Buem elections. Na Omunko Tuaba. Meanwhile, Moana on the 6th of January, Yako Tuaba, and a day before the vote. 6th December, pardon me. A day before the elections, Electoral Commission issued statement say stay away from the parliamentary election. You have critique constituency for amamo. Inti what you deceive the Ghanaian people. You deliberately misled the Ghanaian people. Such cruelty, such dishonesty. Many Professor Kwekwa Zaya say, what has happened to the people of Sal is the most cardinal sin of the Fourth Republic. And the Akufo-Addo regime must be made to answer. Now, I'm surprised, South Wanokra, they appear very, very, tolerant. Yes, meaning say Ghana, as Kwame Nkrumah said, we are very slow to anger as a people. But when we rise, nothing can stop us. Look, enough is enough. Say no. South wa mwaka se mu de monchen ye be ye election fufu amamu ye be take constituency fufu amamu se no new U10 na moye say yanko ye another parliamentary election for Boem ye annully the Boem elections. So ridiculous, Enti say no, this republic of ours, Kwame Nkrumah's Ghana. Bibia yebeye NDC for there, they won't have any increase to their numbers. Yes, you creative constituencies. Your speaker can vote. Everybody can vote. And anything. Just seats Christ. They say you declare vacant. Declare. Just impunity. And you see, let's watch it all. I serve on the Foreign Affairs Committee. Meanwhile, the Kosovo sub-region, we all have to be careful. Sana 1963, first school no see Ewo Togo. Ghana became next, 66, 24 February. And now you say Nigeria, Guinea, there's a coup contagion. Anytime be a coup basino, now it's become a relay race. When people see that, oh, okay, there is no bastion of hope, there is no place to go for justice. Bibia abeye justice no ababeye Akufo-Addo justice. Me kind book we Lee Kuan Yew book hard truths to keep Singapore going. How he transformed Singapore from third world to first world. Or say, rule of law. On one case, ubia the ministers. Everybody, nobody is above the law. And the law was predictable. Say, the society must be a fair and just society. Where people see injustice, in Timinia, they are also in the sub-region. Are we happy? Look, no, Obia Mpeku. It is a president or says much address. Now he thinks that he can intimidation, buga tactics. I'll come after you, Professor Tugubako Kanya. Now you're sending GRA for go after him, go and check his taxes. Look, this high-handedness, it doesn't scare anybody. it will only toughen hardliners. The Omo Andrew Amikosra Bakavoma, you're rushing to the police hospital. I mean, I saw this. I mean, brilliant, one of the finest legal brains I ever, you know, for our generation. You know, few people combine Harvard, Cambridge, and all of that. Brilliant scholar. I mean, when a person or yekua or bekwa control or Facebook say me call yeku, you know, and yet, usher the kind of treatment, the kind of clear injustice they are subjecting the young man to. Omurashe no call hospital and Dranajo. And Opawe or call he had a hearing at the appeal court. Unim say Omuriye, you know, instead of taking him back to the hospital, you say uncle the back to the shaman cells. The medical reports cry and by. Until when all of these are compounding, people feel that they are being hemmed in. Look at what is happening to journalists. Ukasa, you cannot speak. No, we can't have free expression of your. I mean, Ahmed Hussein Swale. I mean, Yekuno. Up to now, you know why Okun. We don't know who the perpetrators are. Sure, they are AC in the police service. Impunity. Look at this billion van scandal. Or more, we are even expecting somebody protecting you, somebody boy I mean, so you don't feel safe any longer. Any longer in this way, and there's a clear attempt to cover up. In Parliament, we are demanding a bipartisan inquiry. Then, to add to the economy, you were proliferation of small arms all over the place. Nippon Mukratio and sophisticated weapons. Then you have the insurgents, violent extremists, terrorists, Al-Qaeda of the Maghreb, Boko Haram, the ISIS, Omunyana a movie down south. They've taken over Mali, are taking over Burkina Faso. Just next door. The climate is not good. Very volatile. And everybody is looking up to Ghana. Michelle diplomats and Michelle ambassadors, they are all worried. Intelligence reports they have. Your risk levels are very high. This is not the kind of leadership in such a situation. President Akufo-Addo should get down from his high horse.
Thank you.
Now, let's come together. You're enjoying on mining. Look, Bibia be e-levy in a town hall e-levy, Bibia e-levy. Look at the unemployment. Look at the currency. Good. Look at inflation. Show your debt levels. I mean, look at the state of education. Free SHH, a PASCA, double track, headmasters are complaining, school feeding, you see a collapse. Look, I don't know which sector is working. Contractors, Yantio Moka, we owe them over 10 billion cedis. PBR, District Assembly's Common Fund.
Fantastic.
District Chief Executives are even borrowing money from MPs Common Fund. And yet, in all of this, Shesikaya, Yediama Office of Government Machinery, 3.1 billion. Share contingency vote from 186 million to 933 million in 1 year. And Sika say on this chartered aircraft from May last year up to now, Endron Kwan Ena offer commercial. Inti mi bisa say Ube to me Ube use the presidential jet. Ube kaya na me kadebia say then there are other economical options, cheaper options, which are still comfortable. Fly commercial. Cyril Ramaphosa, the South African president, or Sika Chen, President Akufo-Addo, more than 1,000 times. Onwankasa Betimiato, Onwankasa ni private jet. He is one of the top 10 richest Africans of all time. Majority shareholder in MTN. Sika on Sika. He flies commercial. President Ochata the LXDIO, which cost us over 4 million cedis on that tour now. Cyril Ramaphosa, he flew commercial there. The Tanzanian president flew commercial there. President Gengop of Namibia, and also our Falcon, an older version, Falcon 700. And one or they call in Brussels, or Tornado 1991. And one or they call. Air Force One, American president, 1990, Air Force One or motor, and one or more use. What is wrong with us? Ubisa, you say we cannot disclose. It's national security. Meanwhile, Meteha, Meaning the cost of operating Air Force One every hour. I know that of the Boris Johnson, that of Macron, the Queen. Obienim, there's transparency because it's public funds. And then wow sika. And here the impunity. After that, we'll say you want to extract more taxes from us. Intiana Ghana for Obiase, levy with embassy and
embassy and you may for your time and then Komono I the papa Meda General Manager of TVS was at Abuaji.
Answer now Pacho. My main wish your national chairman
of
yes, a very hardworking chairman. Happy birthday. Oboy Jumaye pa Nyamin Shrano. I wonder where our party will be without him. Nyamin Shrano pa. We wish him a very happy birthday. And I mean wish Miami boss. I know say Andra was International Women's Day. Okay. Professor Nana Jinopoko Ajima. My ever enduring boss. Very good woman.
Fantastic. Medasi. Yabada honorable Samuel Kujoto Ablakwase or Yemrasibe Jani Dimatemefo, a one of Tonga Beton Peswaso, Ewa for Mantamu Vota region where you're ranking member on the head committee, Ewa Mrasibe film. Yabada Nasi Papa, Ewa Ne, Komachuche, Kama Akoso, TVS was a general manager, Boaje, Edi Simabe Edu, and a Kan Yemre, entire NC, Ewa other TV stations, general manager, Papa, and TVS was a dabaje ebeda woni team ni nyina ase Raf ene Kofi the boy mo amoboa ye cameraman for mu nyina edamase na brato hye adwumadi nyina se ye de course ye koye nyina na che se ye Kevin Asante papa kope woni ne assistant producer Desmond Suwa ene hye adwumadi nyina me de ye ka se me mekai de o mo hye ma me no me ni Edi Mugabe maso beti ma fe matan kolega biga nti se de me ye nyina eye woda fama ye
secretary Commissive show, say show, the Debia Oti, the Gumbe show.
Thank you.
Thank
you. The best year at exactly 2 p.m. on Power 97.9 FM, Ewo Gumbe show. Mamunina Moniti.